Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to the Simple Truth podcast. My name is Eric Hartman, and today we are going to be talking about our 1-year anniversary living outside the United States. We were living in Mexico for about 5 months, going through language school, and then we've been living here in Guatemala for about 7 months. And we just want to take time as a family to reflect on that whole journey and kind of share some different perspectives from each other, to encourage any families out there, any people out there that God may be calling to leave their home country to go somewhere else, right? And anyway, so we're just going to share some different perspectives today, and hopefully what we want to convey, the bigger picture is that God is good. He's faithful, and when he calls us to do anything, whether it's, move across the street or move to another state or move outside the country like he's asked us to do, that he has a plan and that he's faithful, and that if we just follow him, we'll get to where we need to be, right? So we're going to go around, just kind of introduce everybody. Again, my name's Eric Hartman. I'm the dad, I'm the husband, and the troublemaker in the house. So,
hi, I'm Andrea. I am the mom of the crew and wife to Eric.
Hi, I'm Mercy. I'm 16, and I am the middle child.
Hi, I'm Regala. I'm 17, and I'm the second oldest.
Hi, I'm Jim, and I'm 13, and I'm the youngest.
He almost forgot his age there.
Hi, my name is Justice, and I'm 14 years old, and I am the fourth youngest.
Okay. Does that make you the second oldest? No, I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, we wanted to share some things like what are some things that we miss from living in the States, maybe what's some things we don't really miss. What are some things that we really enjoy about living in Guatemala? What are some things we don't enjoy, right? Because we're human. We're down here because Jesus has called us down here, but that doesn't mean we're not human and don't have opinions and feelings and stuff like that. But also just want to talk about what has Jesus done in our lives? What has he shown us along the journey here? Anyone feel like just jumping in and starting something that you miss from living in the States?
I would say, this is Andrea. I would say just missing the ease and the accessibility of shopping all around. In the States, growing up there, you know exactly where to go to grab what particular tool you need or article of clothing or a certain ingredient. Here you have to dig, you have to ask people, you have to walk through markets, you got to search for quite a while to find those things. Sometimes you have to go to a totally different town. So just definitely miss the ease of being able just to go run out and grab something.
Some things I do not miss about America is just the school programs, like public school and stuff. It's just messing with a lot of the kids' minds, and it's just not good and healthy. And now that I'm out of that, I can look back and reflect on how much that affected my life and stuff. So I'm glad that I am out of that, and I do not miss that. And some things I do miss from America and my life in America is maybe the public pool or parks we can go to. And here everyone's always warning us on how dangerous the streets are and how much stuff could happen, but it's just a lot different atmosphere and stuff. So
yeah, our town here, we either have to drive to the lake to enjoy some water or drive an hour and a half away to a swimming hole. They don't have public pools or anything like that. They do have some parks as far as playing basketball and stuff, but that's let's see, this is Eric. I miss my recliner. I'm not gonna lie. Oh man, I could use a recliner, man, because that's where I take my naps usually, in the afternoons or something, and not having a recliner down here, I'm definitely missing that. Let's see, I don't miss the busyness and craziness of life back in America. Yeah, at least for our family. So, having to really fight against that while living there. Here, there is some of that, but it's a little easier for us to kind of establish, the lifestyle we want to live and stuff. So don't really miss that. How about you boys?
Honestly, one of the main things I truly miss from America is, again, like my mom said, shopping is a big thing for clothes, mainly because I'm growing quickly and I constantly need new clothes and new shoes and stuff, and it's pretty difficult to find like new cheap clothes here.
That are in your size?
Yeah, that are in my size, that fit nicely. So that's one thing, and something I don't miss from America is probably, I don't know, I'd say the fact that I have to go outside and actually talk to people and to become friends with people instead of I don't know, just staying inside and texting friends instead, because I don't speak the same language here and I'm forced to go outside and have to go actually interact with people and do stuff, and I enjoy that here.
Yep. I don't miss the guy honking across the street right now. Jim, how about you, buddy?
I kind of miss the cold weather and snow. I'd rather be cold than hot, but it's still good. So
yeah,
it's something I don't miss, I guess. Probably the.
It's okay if you don't miss
Yeah,
it.
I don't know.
Yeah, Burger King? You don't miss it? We used to have a Burger King live down the street from our house and stuff. So, but it had a kind of a bad reputation. Yeah. So, all right, Gala, what do you got?
For things I do miss, I do agree with Mom and Justice what they said, but also I miss having appliances in the house to help us about here, in the States, usually if you rent a house or whatever, you get normal stuff that comes with the house. But here it's okay, we got counters and shelving, but we have to get a fridge, oven, and washing and drying machines and all that. So it doesn't come with that. So that's kind of different for me.
Yeah.
And what I don't miss in the States is, I agree with the social craziness, just especially with when you're in the schools too, the high schools and stuff. It was just too crazy and too much oh, you gotta do this, gotta do that, and then all the schools just, I don't know, they're all crazy. It's just too much social
Yeah.
whatever,
Pressure.
pressure and all that. But here you can relax a little bit more.
Yeah. So you guys are doing school online, so you can kind of choose your own pace and pick the classes you're wanting and stuff like that. So what are some things that you guys enjoy about here, living in Guatemala, in this place? What are some things you don't enjoy that, we're just being honest, what, I really don't enjoy that. But, hey, we're here because Jesus, right? So what are some things? Oh, Mommy wants to share. Okay.
I would say things that we definitely do or at least that I like is, since we've been on this trip, we've seen how much the community just pulls together all the time. Every time we've broken down or had any kind of incident, both in Mexico and Guatemala, we've had people just stop and go out of their way to help us. We've had people here just helping us find places to live and go find stores, and it's just so easy to approach. Yeah, so easy to approach anybody and ask for help, and everybody wants to help you. People will just stop and help you. But yet, since we've been here, we've been snubbed by almost all the gringos, all the other Americans that we see traveling around. Not the ones that live here, but by many of the ones tourizing. We come and try to visit with them and talk with them, and we just get nose turned up, and that's the way it is in the States. And I just like that here we don't have that. What I don't like about here is the humidity. In the particular town we're at, it's like 80% humidity almost every day, and you're just constantly soaked in sweat, and it's just, not fun. Mercy? Like or don't like?
I guess here I like to drive a lot, so here I get to get a little more relaxed on the rules because unless they see that it's a gringo driving, they don't really care about what we're doing. So I like that. But some things I don't like about here is like how much they like noise-wise. Like people at 9 p.m. right when we're going to bed will come through with like speakers and stuff and start like advertising stuff from their store or something, and we're like, dude, we're trying to sleep, what are you doing? And birthdays, they got the loudest firecrackers. We thought someone was like playing a prank on us or something on my birthday because I had shared a birthday with our neighbor's friend. So she let off some fireworks, and we're like, what is going on? Because
and they do it early in the morning.
Yeah, they do it super early, and we got a tin roof, so it's all echoing off and bouncing off. We're like, oh my gosh, what is happening? So it's super loud here with some things, and that is something I do not enjoy here.
Some things I like here is, like Mercy said, like the laid-back rules and stuff. Like, I've got to experience a lot more from traveling through Mexico and Guatemala, like, versus in the States, because the States, like, can't do that. But here it's like, they're like, no, it's fine. Like, you can have fun and stuff. Like, I've already got to be on motorcycles before. In the States, that would be illegal for me to be on a motorcycle. And just to have fun with our friends and stuff and go do random things. And I also like the weather in the mornings here because it is hot during the day, but in the mornings it's like nice and cool out. So sometimes we like to get up early. Like a few weeks ago, me and my friend went to the island really early in the morning. It just felt so nice outside, and we just walked around and look at the sunrise and stuff. Yeah. And something that I don't like is, I agree with the random loudness and just random, like last night before bed, it was like 9 p.m. or 9:30, just a loudspeaker coming through our street, and we're like, why are we advertising at 9 o'clock at night? Like, we're trying to sleep, but people don't sleep here. But also something that's honestly not really that fun is the electricity and sometimes the water. Like, sometimes it'll just shut off for a long while, and we have like church activities and youth groups and other things going on, or our own ministry stuff, and it's like, oh my gosh, now we have all these dishes, oh my gosh, now we all need a shower, oh, we can't do that, we don't have water that day or whatever, or the electricity shuts. I was like, shoot, we can't do school today. It's like, now we have extra hours to do, and it's like kind of hard with that, but but
we do have a generator.
Yeah, we do have a generator that helps sometimes, but still, that would be what I say for me.
Something I like is like how everyone here doesn't care about ages. They're like all friends. Like, even though they're like 20, they're hanging out with like 2-year-olds, and like they're like friends and like play like little kid games. And and something I dislike is how like when they're like, why weren't you at the meeting? Like, what meeting? They're like, we just created a meeting today. It was like very unexpected meeting.
So some communication is different.
Yeah. Lack of communication.
Yeah, and it kind of doesn't help, right, that we're not fully bilingual and stuff, so I'm sure that's a part of it. What do you got, JC?
So something I find joyful down here is the fact that I get to try a lot more new stuff down here. Like, recently I've been able to just like get up super early in the morning and get to like go running around outside, going to hang out, play basketball with my friends at like 5 in the morning, which is pretty early, and it's fun because I just don't feel unsafe here. I feel pretty safe just walking around and hanging out with friends outside, and I don't know. There's been a lot of people that have like warned us, saying that it's a lot worse down here. There's a lot more violence and stuff going on outside, but I don't agree with that.
You haven't seen
we haven't encountered anything. But yeah, and something I dislike is the weather here is unexpected, because we don't have like weather apps to tell like what's going to happen, and so a storm could just pull up in 5 minutes after a sunny day, and we will not expect it, and it'll ruin a lot of plans really quickly. And I guess also, yeah, the electricity is a bit of a bummer about how much it goes out almost daily. So
Yeah, it's kind of an unexpected, or the electricity is not as reliable as we have in the States. It's better than other places we have visited here in Guatemala and Mexico. But yeah, we still have some power outages. And during the dry season, they only turn the water on twice a day. So we have a tank that we have to fill up, and that means, quick showers, quick washing of dishes and stuff like that. Let's see, for myself, what do I enjoy about living down here? I enjoy the people that we live around, that we are in contact with, just the Guatemalans in general. They are a hard-working people, man. Everywhere you go, they start working early in the morning till, late in the afternoon, and they're just always joyful, even if after a long, hard day of working and stuff like that. And we have a couple that comes to our Bible study on Thursdays, and they help us lead it, and, they tell us about all the work they've done that day. One's a bricklayer, the other is a house cleaner, and all the work they do. And they show up and they're just joyful and ready to worship the Lord and, and help with translation and stuff like that. And that's something I enjoy and admire about the Guatemalan people. Something I don't enjoy, our neighborhood is inundated with pigs, and I would say like raw sewage and trash like everywhere. And that's kind of the norm for most neighborhoods here. It's just people just throw trash everywhere. And just being honest, like when I go on prayer walks in the neighborhood, I'm just in my humanity, I'm like, oh, that's disgusting, but just trying to remember, like, where was Jesus born? He was born in a manger amongst a bunch of cow crap or poop, or what do you want to say, but he wasn't afraid to come to that environment in order to bring salvation to the people of Israel, to the people of the world. So just want to talk about too, like what have you guys experienced from the Lord on this journey? What has he taught you? How has he helped you grow in what areas and stuff like that? Who wants to kind of kick that off? Mercy?
Throughout this year, we have been studying the book of Jeremiah, and I just feel like I've gotten a lot better at like picking things out now, and I feel like God's helped me a lot with that, and like trying to figure out what's he trying to actually tell us. So just like last week, I read through this like a very short chapter, like 16 verses or something, and I got like 8 things out of it. I was like, oh wow, I usually get like 3 or 4, but that was pretty cool. And that has blessed me, because now I'm starting to like understand things a lot better. And
so growing and studying the scriptures versus just reading it. Yeah.
It's definitely helpful. So I'm glad God has been helping me with that.
Yeah. All right, Justice, what do you got?
I feel like in the last year or so, I feel like I've grown pretty deep in prayer, just like applying it to my life and wanting and desiring to pray more often, just to see how God is gonna miraculously just provide for whatever I'm praying for. Yeah, I feel like it's really just attached to my life, and that in everything I want to do, I always just want to pray. I just want to pray constantly, and whenever we do have like an hour of prayer, I just feel like I pray nonstop, and then when it's over, I just want to keep on praying. It just feels, I just love it. And also, I feel like the discipline down here, I've like taught myself. I've been more disciplined down here, trying to like get up early and read my Bible and do exercises, and instead of just like sleeping in and just being lazy, I feel like I've just learned to do more and be more grateful of what I'm get to do down here.
Yeah, kind of growing in those different areas. Jim, what do you got, buddy?
I feel like I've been growing in like reading the Bible more often. Like I'm not a really good reader, but then now I'm like I like reading and reading the Bible more, and even for fun, and not like as a chore or anything.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Nice. Andrea?
Yeah, so I think as a whole in the States, and I think you heard some of that today with everyone sharing, there's just a lot of rules and expectations put on us, or that we put on ourselves while living in the States. Expectations and rules with driving, expectations and rules with school, expectations and rules with parenting, with keeping house, going to church. Just a lot of stuff, and it was just a really stress. Even though you didn't know you were putting on that stress, there was a lot of stress on us. And I think just coming down here, we've dropped a lot of that. There's really no rules with driving. There's no rules with keeping your house clean, or kids attending school, or how you dress, or what sports you do. There's just not those expectations to be part of PTAs and all these different social pressures. Pressures. Yeah. So I think that's just been really freeing for me, because I do. I'm a people pleaser, so I would carry on a lot of those stresses, wanting to not only be perfect in everything I do, but make sure that everyone's happy with that, and that I had met all those things. So there's just been a lot more freedom here. Just drop that weight. It's okay if I don't have everything figured out. There's no worries if I am not perfectly dressed, or my kids aren't perfectly whatever, in school and for 8 hours exactly, or whatever, So that's just been really great, just a breakthrough of the fear of man and what they're thinking, because you just don't get that here. You just don't feel people judging you here like you feel in the States, I guess.
Yeah.
So that's me.
I guess I'd have to say, for the whole journey, like we left Iowa, we went to Virginia for 7 months, and then we traveled all the way through Mexico, the whole thing, drove through that, lived there for 5 months, and then, like I said, and then when we got to Guatemala, it took us 3 months to find out where we were supposed to be living, and that was very difficult. That was probably one of the most difficult times of the trip, was just, okay, now that we're in Guatemala, now what? Right, and this whole time we've been here, we've been in kind of survival mode, like not just, okay, it's not like you can just show up in another country and just, quote, start living. Like, you've got to find out their laws and how they do stuff, and right now every 9 months we have to, or not 9 months, 90 days we have to leave the country and go back out and come back in because we're considered tourists still, and all this stuff, which has all been quite difficult, and not fun. None of that is fun. The traveling, the packing, the unpacking, the unknowns, figuring this and that out. Like Andrea said, where do we shop to buy this? When we go shopping, there's 2 different stores, 2 to 3 different places we have to go, not just one. And so when I look at all of that, I feel like God has been really teaching us over this past year about perseverance, in that, are we willing to go and persevere in, what God has called us to do, whether we see fruit right now, whether we see doors blowing wide open or not, God is still standing there going, hey, yes, I know you're facing X, Y, or Z, but are you going to persevere, right? He doesn't want us just to survive and just to live. And well, we're here, God. We get our gold star. And he's like, okay, you're here. Now I want you to be victorious in the land, right? You remember, the Israelites really didn't encounter warfare until they stepped into the promised land. That's when the majority of all their warfare took place, was when God brought them into the promised land, the place where God wanted them to have sovereignty over. Then they had to fight enemies and conquer them and stuff. And so that's kind of where we're at now. Is okay, we're here, we're in the promised land God has for us, for our family, and we need to persevere. We need to learn how to be victorious here and stuff. So anyways, so that's kind of been our journey the last year living outside the United States, and some things that we are missing from the States, some things we don't really miss, and everything. And, some things that are hard, and some things that we do enjoy down here in Guatemala. But also some things that God has taught us and revealed to us along the way and stuff. So just want to encourage you that, hey, if you're feeling like maybe God's calling me or my family to move away from our city or move outside my country, wherever that is, we just want to encourage you to know that God is faithful. If you just keep your eyes fixed on Him through the journey, it's not going to be easy, but it's going to be good. And God is going to be faithful. He's going to lead you and guide you. The Word of God says that the footsteps of righteous people are ordered of the Lord, right? And we've seen that every step of this journey. So love you guys. Thanks for tuning in today to the Simple Truth Podcast, and we'll talk to you next time.